Morning, morning, everyone. I should hope you are well, and thank you for joining. Yesterday, I did some presentation, not knowing that my mic it stopped working. So I think you only saw some moving slides. I was actually talking from my side, but then later on, I realized that my mic had malfunctioned. So from your end, you couldn't hear anything. So yeah, I will quickly run through those slides again. And then I wanna also look at responsible AI. We wanna discuss the responsible AI, wanting to know, right, how can we use AI responsibly? We now know the uh, the use of AI. We now know the benefits of AI. So people will always try, to exploit things and come up with the evil things. So we just wanna try and look at how can we use AI responsibly. After quickly running through the slides that I was supposed to run through yesterday. So that's what we want to do today. And we will take it from there. Right, so I just want to put my things in order here. Right, I just want to put my things in order here. Before I share my screen. So I am not sharing anything yet, but I'll be sharing those screens in a moment. My computer is busy doing something which is kind of frozen what I wanna share, but it will take a few seconds, and then that will be okay. Please confirm if you can see my shared screen. Please confirm if you can see my shared screen. You can just raise thumbs up, or you can just type on the chat. Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much for that confirmation. Right, so this is the slides that I was supposed to share with you, but as I said, I was like talking, and well, I don't know what happened on my microphone. Here it was showing that it's on, but later on it gave me like a message that the mic is not working, and then it eventually went to mute that mic. Anyway, we are here now. Right, so extracting data and insights, right? That is unlocking business value from raw information. So what we are saying here is that these days, there is no organization that survive without data, right? There is no organization that survive without data. Why are we saying that? We are saying the data that organizations are collecting is the data that will give them information in regards to the direction which the organization must take. The data that organizations are collecting does have insights, right? That is, the data will give the organization an idea of what is happening out there, what is happening with their customers, what is happening in their market, what is happening in the economy in general. So they look into that data, and then from the data, the organization is able to make some decisions because of the data that the organization have. Hence, it is now a must for an organization to collect data and then analyze that data so that they can get the information they need and make what we call informed decisions. So that data must be transformed. Hence, yesterday, I did give you a small research where I said, find out which platforms, which softwares, which tools are used to extract data, because organizations will simply collect data. Let me give you an example of data that an organization does collect. You will see that it's difficult to make sense out of that data, right? It's very, very difficult to make a decision from that kind of data. But if the same data is analyzed and presented in a manner that makes sense to us, we are then able to make what we call informed decisions. So I just want to go and open my Excel file. Right. So imagine that you are given a file that is like this. Right. A file that is like this. You can see all these figures here. Right. Can you see all these figures here? We do have segment country, product, discounts, units sold, manufacturing sales, right? And it does expand up to here. So for you to try and make sense exactly what is happening here, it is a challenge, a big challenge, right? Because this is too much information. Our human minds are not able to process this kind of data. It is in Excel, yes, and these are just numbers. These are just countries, and these are just products. The question is, so what? Right? So what? Now, we need to make sense out of this data, right? We need to make sense out of this data. So how do we make sense out of this data? I will show you. I am going to open a program called Power BI. Some of you mentioned Power BI yesterday, saying that it is one of the programs that is used to analyze data. And I am just going to demonstrate to you how Power BI works to analyze data from that file that we saw. So when Power BI opens, right, Power BI will take you to a screen like this one. Right, that is Power BI. It will take you to a screen like this one. And your data is in Excel, so you will go on Excel web. If your data was in SQL Server, you will go on SQL Server. Right. Then I am going to click on Excel. Right. It will open, or it will allow me to browse to the file that I was opening. Then I am going to click open. And it will take some time connecting to that Excel file and importing the data into Power BI. And on here, it now went into Power BI, and it does show me the Power BI file that I am working with. So I'll go ahead and click this particular file. And now you can see the same information that is in that file. So I'll go ahead and click load. Right, I'll go ahead and click load. So it will take a few seconds to upload that file. And you can see that it is loading file. So the goal of this demonstration is to show people how data is analyzed in Power BI. Maybe it might motivate some of you to take a Power BI, to learn a Power BI and actually become a data analyst. There are so many companies that are looking for data analysts. So Power BI you tell me that 700 rows were added. If I come here on this little table where my mouse is, and I click on there, it will again show me the data. Now this data is in Power BI. It has been taken or imported from Excel into Power BI. If I go on the top icon, right, that is where everything happens. Here, that is where we analyze our data. If you look on the right side, where it says financials, I can.
So good. You are 30 minutes in. Keep going. You know how to fix yourself.
I am able to see the files, no, the fields that is on that Excel file. So all these things is those things that I was looking at. Now I must decide what I want. Do I want to visualize the information as a graph? Do I want to show it as a pie chart? Do I want to show it as a table? Right? Because visualizing things, it's much better than using numbers. So I will take this column chart, right? And I will bring my column chart here. But you can see that there's nothing yet on my column chart. Then I start asking myself some questions. What do I want to see on this graph? That Excel file is an Excel file that was generated from a shop that has got branches in different countries. So it does show the sales of different products, right? Sales of different products. So what I want to analyze here is my sales, right, from those different shops. That is what I want to analyze, and I want to deal with sales. So with my graph here, right, I will come here and say I want to see my sales, and I click on sales here, right, and you can see that it does give me one bar. And this bar, if I click my mouse, it does give me the total sales of my shop, right? So these sales are coming from all countries and all products. But I might need to say, but how much did each country made in terms of sales? Right? How much did each country made in different countries? So I'll come back here again and I look at country and then I click on country. Now, can you see that it now tells me that in America, they sold that much, right? In Canada, this is the second one, they sold that much. In France, they sold that much. In Germany, they sold that much. And in Mexico, they sold that much. So I am now looking at the total sales here. It's now making sense, right? All this information is coming from that Excel file that I opened for you. And then I want to say, but yes, I am seeing the total sales per country, but I also want to see the sales per country, but per product, because you want to know how each product is performing. So I'll come here and click on products, right? Now, can you see the graph that I now have? United States, right? This bar is now telling me that it's a product called Amarillo, and this is the amount that it sold. Then the second one, it's a product called Carretera, and that is what it sold. The third product, it's Montana, right? But all these products were sold in America. And I can actually see that this product, right, called Pasio, is the top selling product in America, right? Canada, they are selling the same products, and I can see again that Pasio is the top selling product in Canada, right? Then I come to France, then I come to Germany, then I come to Mexico. And overall, I can now see that, oh, okay, this product called Pasio is the top selling product in every country, right? That you can see by the graph. This information, you cannot tell this information from the Excel sheet that I was opening. But by using Power BI, it's now making sense, right? It's now making sense. And this is the basics of Power BI. It goes deeper, right? You can analyze your things using what we call a 360-degree angle. So you can analyze your data from any angle that you can think of, right? So I can actually come here and say, but I just want to see the profit that I made per product, right? So I'll click on profit and maybe remove my sales, right? No, I'll put my sales, they will remain there, but I just wanna see maybe my profit per country, right? So I can tell that the profit, you can now see that it has got sales and the profit below. Here, sales and profit below, right? So I can go back again to product, right? Where if I put my mouse on here, it now tells me that the total sales of Amarilla was 2.8 million, and I made 300-something thousand profit, right? I can do that on the Pasio. I can do that on any product. So you can do what is called a 360-degree analysis of the data, right? By just coming here, playing around with this. But as I said, this is only the beginning, right? So that is Power BI, and it's a very, very good program to know because that is one of the top leading products when it comes to data analysis, right? This is just the beginning of it, what you see here. So that's Power BI, right? We are not learning Power BI in this program, but I thought since we are talking about data extraction, right? Let me show people how it does that. And also, maybe it might motivate someone, to take on Power BI as a program that you can use to analyze your data. So that's just an introduction to Power BI. But we are doing Power BI now just because we are learning data extraction, right? We need to know what to do with that data that we generate with the AI. We do not generate data for nothing. There is a reason why we generate data. So moving on, right? Why data extraction matters. I think people now already understand why data extraction matters, right? You can see graphs like these ones, right? Power BI can produce graphs like these ones. And if you analyze your data through graphs, through visuals, you tend to understand it much better than looking at the figures in Excel, right? It is a bit of a challenge, right, for us to look at data that way in Excel and make sense out of it. It's very, very challenging. Hence, there are now these programs, right, that have been developed to help us deal with large amounts of data that we are not able to handle with our brains. So that is Power BI, and that is also the reason why we need to extract data, right? So here it says data explosion challenge. We are saying you would have a challenge if we simply generate more and more data and we don't do anything about that data. Data is to be extracted, then we apply business intelligence in that data, that is using a program like Power BI. So BI on Power BI, the BI means business intelligence, right? It means business intelligence, which does refer to a program that does extract data, analyze it, and give us information. Right. So data extraction, the foundation of analysis, right? Well, these are steps, right, that we take when we are analyzing data. So we first need to extract that data, we consolidate that data, and then we apply our analytics that is now trying to make sense out of that data. So you can see here, right? It says extract, transform, and load. That is the process that happens when we are loading data into Power BI. We extract it, we transform it, that is cleaning the data. Sometimes you might have columns that, records that are repeating, and some fields that are blank. So when we say now transform, we are removing those duplicates. We are cleaning that data so that we can load it into Power BI. Right. So that is data analytics. So how data extraction works? right? So basically with the data extraction, right, the data that we analyze, that data is sitting somewhere, right? It might be sitting on a server, or it might be in an Excel file that we saw. It might be in a database, a SQL database. It might be in a system, a customer relationship management system. It might be in the cloud. Power BI doesn't care where your data is. It can connect to that particular data set and bring it into a Power BI, and then we extract that data, right? However, there are two ways of connecting to that data. You can do it manually, like what I did. You saw me connecting to the file that we later on used to analyze, or you can automate the process. The choice is yours. Power BI does accommodate all of that. Overcoming data complexity, right? So we are saying with the Power BI and other programs, Power BI is not the only program that we use in data extraction, right? We can have other programs that we can use to extract data and analyze. There are so many of them. We are saying now, by using those programs, we are overcoming data complexity. That file that you saw, it's complex. We cannot use our human minds to analyze everything. So using the programs, right, they will give us something like this, and it does actually make life easier for us because we are able to understand this better than the file. Turning data into insights, right? So we are saying if we analyze our data, right, at the end, we are able to forecast the future because of the history. We are able to forecast the future, and we can be better prepared as a business to deal with the future because we now know the trends. We now know what's happening in the market, and AI will actually predict to us what is likely to happen, which is something that without data we cannot do. So collecting data does give us relevant information which we can use to plan the future, because by analyzing future, we are able to pick the business patterns. We are able to pick the consumer patterns, how consumers behave throughout the year. So when we now know what and how consumers behave throughout the year, we are able to now service or give them products that they want any time of the year, because we know exactly that come August, it's now summer, they buy clothes like this and they eat like this. So we are able to prepare for them before the summer. When it comes to June, we now know that, oh, okay, this is what they buy in June, and we stock that in June. I think you have seen shops doing that. It's not only that it's now June, they are bringing in winter clothes. They know exactly what kind of clothes to bring, right? And it is from the data analysis, which gives them the pattern, right? Also, it does show us if our business is performing well. So that is why businesses are taking data seriously. And I did mention before that it is an area that is upcoming, data analysts. So they are working with AI to analyze that data, to collect that data and make business decisions. Right, 4 strategies to explain insights. Right. So data gives us insights which are like focused, and we are able to interpret or explain those insights in 4 strategies. Right, number 1, it is systematically link related data points across different sources. Right. Number 2, it is about curiosity. Now that we know, we ask questions. Why? And we are digging deeper. Identify surprising correlations, coincidences, and then contradictions. Right. These are the strategies that are used to explain insights. Because you now have an insight, so you want to act on those insights. So you have to interpret those insights somehow. Real world impact, right? So you will see, right, that with the AI, because of the data that we are collecting, companies are now able to produce sustainable products. For example, Nike, right, is now using sustainable, no, it's now producing sustainable products. So they are trying, to reduce the impact, right, of their products on the environment. These days, we are talking about going green, climate changes, etc. And we are saying by analyzing our data and seeing what is happening out there, right, AI actually does help us to, or help companies to produce sustainable products. There are so many companies that are going green because of the data that they are analyzing, and then they now try to come up with solutions. Right. So that's number 1. We do have electronics, right, which is now being used in gamification. Right. So people are now learning through games rather than just playing a game. People are learning through games. And thanks to data collection, because they do get all those suggestions from that data that they are collecting, right? And the data extraction, right, is your competitive edge, right? You can see that you are able to make informed decisions, right? You are able to make automated intelligence. Here, we are saying instead of you looking at the data and start thinking about what to do, AI, after analyzing the data, it can actually tell you what to do, right? And we are calling that automated intelligence, because you are being presented with the solutions. It does unlock hidden value, as we said. If you are not analyzing your data or collecting your data, you are losing out. You won't see the hidden value. Innovation catalysts. With these AI tools, people are able to innovate. People are able to come up with clever ways of dealing with customers so that they do improve the customer experience. And companies are able to plan ahead. Companies are able to use that as a competitive advantage, because you have all the data at your disposal and you can make decisions in a flash. So the AI is actually helping companies to transform, helping companies to save costs, helping companies to stay ahead of competitors, helping companies to come up with new ways of serving customers, helping companies also to come up with brilliant products which are appealing to the market, and the customers are just liking it. Have you ever seen or think about it that Africa is being invaded with the products that are coming from other countries, right? They are good products and they are cheap products. But we are manufacturing products in here in South Africa which are expensive. What is the reason of us having expensive products when the raw materials are taken from South Africa and people manufacturing from South Africa? It is because of technology that they are using in China or other countries, and they have automated their production, which means they've got less cost. They will make a product in China and come and sell it at half the price here in South Africa, because they have harnessed technology. They have managed to realize the potential of AI, and they are using that as an advantage, which means they are able to make the products cheaper and transport them here, and the products are still cheaper. So that is AI at play here. It does make life easier for companies, and it does also make life easier for consumers, because now we are getting products at a lesser value. Imagine Temu, people are buying on Temu. The product is transported to South Africa and still the product is cheap, right? That is AI. And these are real world scenarios. We are saying, you and me, let us learn AI, let us also try and produce products using AI, which are appealing to the market, which are appealing to our clients, and then we have got a ready market. People are looking for those things that are cheap, things that have a good quality, and things that will make their life easier. So that is data extraction. Right. And the presentation, it does end here. Do we have any questions on this particular presentation? Kakiso is saying you cannot hear me. Anyone who cannot hear me? It might be a network issue. However, I am recording this session, Kakiso. You might have to go on the YouTube channel and then play it from there. Not sure what is happening there, why you cannot hear me. That's a pity. Sometimes technology does fail us, right? Sometimes technology does fail us. And even now, I know you cannot hear me since you said you can't hear me, right? Do we have any questions? So let us take a 10-minute break.
Hi everyone, again, you are an hour in. Just a reminder
Hi guys, welcome back. I should hope you are well. So I am going to share my screen again, but now for responsible AI. Okay, I should hope you can see my screen, and I should hope you can hear me or so. So we learned about AI, how AI works. So we discussed those 4 areas of AI. One, the generative AI. Two, the computer vision. Three, the speech. And 4, natural language processing. Those are the areas that we learned about AI. Then we went on to discuss also the data extraction, where we saw different things that we use in data extraction. There was even a demonstration of Power BI, right, which is also part of AI. But now we want to look at responsible AI. Why do we have to look at responsible AI? We want to look at responsible AI because we have to be ethical when we are dealing with the AI. We have seen that people do manipulate things and end up, using good things for malicious purposes. For example, we are seeing these days the use of computers to produce fraudulent documents. We have seen the use of computers to commit fraud. and so many other bad things that these technologies are being used for. But in actual fact, these technologies were built to make our life easier, not to commit malicious things. That is why we need to look at responsible AI. We were touching on that on each and every class of AI when we were talking about ethics, right? Ethics. So responsible AI, here it says building ethical artificial intelligence systems that save humanity while minimizing harm and maximizing benefits for all stakeholders. And that is responsible AI. We should be building things or using AI to save humanity, not to cause harm to other people, which means everything that you use to everything that you produce using AI, you must make sure that it doesn't harm anyone. So if you produce products and services that do not harm humanity, and I do the same, and everyone does the same, then we will realize maximum benefits. There won't be anyone who is harmed by AI. So the problem is not AI. The problem is us, human beings, right? The problem is us, human beings, who are coming up with things that are harming society. So the problem is not AI. Why responsible AI matters, right? We are saying with AI, it is now being integrated into our lives every day. So we are going to be living with AI because it's now part of our lives. In the financial services, they are using AI. In the health industries, they are using AI. You go to agriculture services, they are using AI. Any area that you can think of, they are using AI. And AI is actually making decisions. So if we now turn AI against ourselves, then we will not realize those benefits. We need to apply practices that do protect people, practices that does build sustainable products, sustainable services, and use it to our competitive advantage. That is why we need to be responsible in AI. So there are 6 pillars, right? There are 6 pillars for responsible AI. Number 1, it's fairness. We are saying we should use AI in all fairness. No bias, no discrimination, right? Everyone is treated the same. We cannot use AI to discriminate against gender. We cannot use AI to discriminate against race. Whatever we use AI must be equitable. The treatment that we give to everyone must be equitable. Privacy and security, right? We need to use AI in a manner that does protect personal information. Just because we are now using AI does not mean we can access anyone's data and publish it anyway. We still need to maintain privacy and security. Transparency, whatever AI does must be transparent. Everyone has to understand what's being done here so that we are transparent in our dealings. Reliability and safety. We need those systems that are reliable, systems that are safe, systems, right, that actually mitigate potential risks. Inclusiveness, whatever we are using AI for, it must be inclusive. There is no one that must be excluded or discriminated against, right? Because if we now take advantage of AI to discriminate and to exclude other people, whether by gender, by race, by age, then we do not need such. But as I said, the problem is people, because it will be people who tell AI all those things. AI doesn't come up with its own things, right? All the ideas that are used by AI are coming from human beings. Then accountability, right? We should have that framework, right? That establish clear governance and accountability on whatever the outcomes of AI is. So let us bear in mind these pillars when we deal with the AI. AI is good, and it is as human beings that needs to make sure that we use AI responsibly. So take note of those pillars. So if we are to go back, to those pillars one by one, right? This is right what we were like talking about, like not being biased, making sure that we treat everyone equal, right, across all the demographic groups. So we need to be fair, right? Reliability and safety, right, understanding uncertainty, risk mitigation strategies, and continuous monitoring, right? This is AI that we are talking about, which means we have to control what AI does. We have got the power. It's us human beings that invented AI. So we are able to control AI. Then you can see privacy and security there, right? When collecting data, we need to be ethical, right? And we need to protect that data that we have collected, because some of the data might include personal information. So we need to make sure that we protect that data, right? Ensure models trained are protected. So with AI, it does work with a model that is trained to do something. So we need to protect that model and data lifecycle. So since AI works with data, we need to manage that data, right? And what do we manage in data? We manage data retention, we manage deletion, and we manage how we transfer our data. When we no longer need personal information inside a certain data set, that information must be removed, because we have to maintain privacy and security. Right. Then inclusiveness and transparency, right? Demystifying AI systems, right? We are saying we have to include everyone. We have to make sure that we do help users understand how AI works, and also the limitations of AI. We need to be transparent. We need to make sure that when we explain to people, right, that must be done in a friendly manner. Even that AI, when it is interacting with us, it must be in a friendly manner. We mustn't be scared of AI. Just imagine you go on ChatGPT and ChatGPT starts shouting at you. You ask a question, it answers you rude. It asks you a question, it says, no, you've asked me too many questions today. Please leave me alone. Right. We are saying that's not responsible AI. So if you look at these AIs that we are using, right, they are polite, right? They try to accommodate everyone, and you are actually happy to interact with that AI, and that is responsible AI, right? That is responsible AI. Just all for me. Right. So we were on inclusiveness and transparency, right? Where we said our AIs, right, must be able to, work with us in a human manner, where we are not scared about AI, where we are actually happy to be using AI. Then accountability, which is governance and oversight. Right, you can see we do have this pyramid here. Right, leadership, ethics committees, development teams, implementation. Right, so we must actually establish clear governance frameworks that defines, roles. We need to know who does what. We need to know the decision-making process. In AI, we need to be able to monitor what is happening. Right. We need to monitor all those things. Right, and with the real world applications of responsible AIs, right, we are using AI to admit people in colleges or universities. There is no more these things of will come submit your forms at the end. These days, you are simply able to go on a certain college, open a form on their website, right? Submit your application there, and you will get your answer, whether you are being admitted or not. Right, we do have robots that are being used these days, and we are saying we should be using those robots, right, to our advantage. Right, so we do have so far so many robots, right, that are going around helping people. Robots also that are operating people instead of a doctor. We do have those robots. So we are saying those robots, right, mustn't cause any harm to anyone. They are there to save us. They are there to help us. Secure identification. Because of security these days, you see that we need to upgrade, right, our security, especially when we are accessing certain buildings or certain areas, and we are using AI to help us in that manner, right? So we also need those things that does help us, and we are saying they mustn't be harming us, right? They should help us and actually make our environment more secure rather than causing harm to humanity. We have got chatbots, right, which are helping people to get information. I was actually using a chatbot in the morning on a certain website, and I interacted with that chatbot and I got all I wanted, and that was it, right? The business was not open that time. I think it was around 6 a.m. But I managed to get my information and did what I wanted to do. If there wasn't these chatbots, I would have maybe waited for 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock for that business to open and then start inquiring from that business. But thanks to AI, even at midnight, you can get the information that you want from a business. So we need to be building responsible AI services and applications, as well as machines. When we talk about machines, we are referring to robots or even real machines, even cars. These days, there are cars that are self-driving, right? There are cars that are self-driving. So that is responsible AI. Building responsible things that do not cause harm to humanity. And that is responsible AI. Right. That's responsible AI. We said responsible, we said AI is here to stay. We are even today using AI in one way or the other, and it is very, very important for us to take it into our hands and use AI responsibly. You will hear people saying they are them, like pointing fingers. We are saying, no, we mustn't be pointing fingers. It must start with you. If you play your part and he plays his part and she plays their part and they play their part, then we are being responsible, all of us. And we have already built a responsible AI. It must start with you. Then you can now help others to be responsible. So you are the first person to be responsible. Right. So that does take us to the end of this presentation. Right. Let's, do we have any questions, or let's have a discussion around AI. Right. Let's have a discussion around AI. Right. Let me hear what people think about AI. What do you think about AI? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? And do we really need AI? Or it has just come to make our life difficult and to take money out of our pockets, because some of the services we need to pay them for? What do you think about AI, artificial intelligence? What do you think? You can raise your hand or you can type on the group. Let's hear from you. So you are able to type, or you can actually contribute in here. Right, thank you. So AI is increasingly vital in various aspects of our lives, transforming industries and revolutionizing the way we live and work. Its importance lies in its potential to increase efficiency, improve accuracy, enhance decision-making, and drive innovation. From healthcare and education to business and daily lives, AI's impact is profound, making it an essential technology for the future. Nicely said, Kelly Okele. Nicely said. It is true that AI is impacting every part of our lives. It is also a game changer, changing how businesses are conducting business, and it is at the heart of decision making these days in any sector that you can think of. It is also driving innovation. We have seen some beautiful products that are coming from AI. So it is something that is a game changer, right? In education, we are seeing beautiful systems, right? We are seeing beautiful things happening in healthcare. We are seeing beautiful things that is happening in the aviation industry, in the transport industry, rail industry, as well as any other industries like mining. We are seeing beautiful things happening in there, thanks to AI. So thank you so much, Kelly Bokele, for your contributions. Let's hear what other people say. I do have some more posts there, right? Pierre says AI to me provides numerous benefits such as reducing human errors, time-saving capabilities, digital assistance, and unbiased decisions. Yes, I do agree very well with you, Pierre. I do agree very well with you. AI has so many benefits, right? You will see that when things are done by human beings, yes, there are errors, right? There are errors, and AI doesn't have that, so it does eliminate that part. Time saving, because AI doesn't have a time when it will save you or when it will do things. AI will do things right there, and we save time, right? Yes, we also make it our digital assistants, because we can actually ask when we need someone to ask, right? And on decisions, because it's not a human being, right? It doesn't discriminate. There are so many areas where we go and we don't get the services that we want because we are being discriminated against, or the outcomes that we are given, they are biased because we are human beings. So with AI, it doesn't know anyone, so it's not biased. So thank you so much, Pure. Right, and then I do have Bokele Kaunda, who says artificial intelligence refers to the development of computer systems that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, right? Such as learning, problem solving, reasoning, perception, right? Which is correct, right? The tasks that we used to do, especially repeatedly, or that we used to do, or those repeating tasks, we are now doing them or using AI to do those tasks. Some of the tasks were boring, some of the tasks were long, and people would make errors, right, during those tasks. So, yeah, it was a challenge, a very big challenge. And that was taking time, that was causing frustrations, that was also sometimes giving people wrong information. But with AI, we are able to do all those things, right? And it is very efficient. It is very quick, smart, and we get all we want. So yeah, that is AI, and thank you to all those who contributed. Right, I still am expecting, right, some contributions to from other guys. Please let us say what we think about AI. Right, let us say what we think about AI on anything that we have touched on. Right, let us make sure that we also contribute. You know, contributing makes life easier, because that is where you actually also judge yourself. Where are you? If you have gained knowledge, then you should be able to contribute, share with others what you have found. So yeah, please let us keep those discussions going. Let's share. Let's unmute our mics. Let's say something that is allowed.
That one, so.
Caroline says AI can automate repetitive and tedious tasks in both digital and physical processes, freeing human workers to focus on more complex and creative work, which is correct. Because when we now give AI to perform those repetitive tasks, right, then we are now able to focus, right, on something else. We free our workers, right, to focus on other areas which might have, complex things. Kumoto, your hand is up. Please unmute yourself and then say something. You are muted at the moment. Okay. Akiso says AI refers to computer systems designed to perform tasks that are typically require human intelligence, such as learning, problem solving, decision making, recognition of patterns, which encompasses a wide range of technologies from recommendations, from recommendation algorithms to complex systems, which is correct. Yeah, so yeah, thank you everyone for your contributions, right? That is correct. So you will see that now every company or every software company, right, is coming up with platforms that use AI. Yes, we do have Microsoft Azure, right? That also is a platform which does work with AI. There is AWS. It does have AI, right? Google, it also does have AI, and so many other companies. So in your learning journey, right, you need now to work with those different platforms so that you can come up with beautiful AI solutions for your company, for your community, and any other area. So that is AI, right? So those platforms, they do work with AI. So you can now create your solutions using the tools that are in that platforms. Right, so it's 11 o'clock. I think we started at 9 and we only took a 10-minute break. So what is going to happen is people will have a break, right, up to 11:30. You will have a break, and straight from the break, right, tomorrow we are going to write an exercise that will now cover everything that we have learned so far. We are going to learn to write an exercise that will cover everything that we have learned so far. So after your tea time, right, take that time to now go through everything that we have covered. I think there are some slides that I did not post. I am going to post all those slides on the WhatsApp group. So go on the Microsoft platform, right? Go through everything again, go through these slides again, so that you can write that exercise tomorrow. The exercise will cover everything that we have covered so far, from introduction to AI to building responsible AI, right? Future. So all those things will be covered in that particular exercise. It's just an exercise to test people, right? What they have learned, right? And thank you, Makitla Kosa. I have seen your response, Makitla. I've seen your response. It says AI has many benefits, such as reducing human errors and save time, which is correct. So I do acknowledge your contribution, Makitla. So let us take tea time, and straight from tea time, right? Let us do the revision, right? Let us do the revision. We now have an idea of how AI works and what it is, and it's now up to you to take it from here. Put everything in your hands. To those who might wanna learn Power BI, right? Simply go on Power BI. You can actually register it online, and you have an online version of Power BI. Then go here on YouTube, right, and look for videos, Power BI tutorials, right, Power BI tutorials, right. We do have so many people that are teaching Power BI. This one for 12 minutes, or it's very short. You won't learn Power BI in 12 minutes. But if you look to these guys that have got like 9 videos, right, you are able to, you are able to learn Power BI, right? So let us take our tea and let us, do the revision for Power BI. So yeah, that's fine. We will continue with the session tomorrow.
Sir, are we gonna continue tomorrow or 11:30? But I didn't want to answer me, but I'm going to continue. 11, 11:30 or Camus.
Kamuso.
Oh, thank you, Makit.
Yep.
Thabazimbi.